It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, it's showtime. What's happening, everybody? The Geno Jones Show. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Announcer. So you see the sign in the back. So if you're watching me live right now, Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles, please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. You and everybody that you know, everybody that you like, folks you love, folks you ain't that crazy about, folks you can't stand, folks you hate, strangers, aliens from outer space. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Let me give you an update. So I am less than 70 new subscribers from being a YouTube partner. That means a brother is less than 70 new subscribers away from getting a check from YouTube. That's right. Let me secure that YouTube bag. They'll be running ads on the Geno Jones channel. And because of that, a brother will be getting a check from YouTube. So help a brother out. Because this college tuition is calling my name because the email and the invoice is in my inbox. And August 1st is a week from today. And I got to pay. And it's a big check, but I digress. Shout out to all those parents that's paying tuition. College is a big business. These colleges and universities is really big business. That's a whole different conversation. The number one priority, they'll say, is education, but their number one priority is to generate a profit, is big business. We'll have that conversation one day on the show. Speaking of college, a young man who's going to be a freshman at the University of University of Southern California. I'm here in South Carolina, so they're really two USCs, but like I call it the real USC. If you believe in the power of prayer, send prayers up for Bronny James, LeBron James Jr., they call him Bronny. He went into cardiac arrest yesterday. He was at practice at the University of Southern California. He's on the basketball team. He's got a scholarship to go there, and he was doing a workout at practice, went into cardiac arrest. Shout out to the medical staff and the team at the University of Southern California. They got him to the hospital. He's out of ICU now. He is in a regular room, according to his mom and dad, the family. The James family released a statement saying that Bronny went into cardiac arrest while at practice at USC, University of Southern California, on Monday. And thank God he is now out of ICU, doing better, and said, please respect their privacy. So don't do Bronny like you all did Jamie Foxx, and people were projecting all kind of stuff. That's why I didn't get crazy with it. I'd had some very reliable sources, and there had been a lot of talk about like a major stroke, a serious stroke. But if that was the case, after seeing this video of Jamie Foxx, God is awesome. And like he said, I'm not paralyzed, that he didn't lose his eyesight. He could see. He lost a lot of weight. But he was very humble, and he thanked his sister and his daughter for saving his life, along with the doctors. It was a very, very reflective video, so shout out to Jamie Foxx. Listen, the power of prayer works, because there were a lot of folks praying for Jamie Foxx. So I hope and pray, and I'm sure there are a lot of folks praying for Bronny James. God, please, in the name of Father, could you please give this young man, heal his heart, give him a complete, heal his whole and total body, and restore his health to where it was before he went into cardiac arrest. And if anybody can make that happen, God, of course you can. So lift Bronny James and the family. I can only imagine as a dad to get that call, or a parent, a dad, a mom, to get that call that your 18-year-old son, who's a world-class athlete, who was at basketball practice at the college she's going to be attending in the fall, went into cardiac arrest. Oh my God, and I think about this brother named Hank Gathers back in March of 1990. He was a superstar in college at Loyola Marymount, out in California, out in Southern California, not that far. I think Loyola Marymount was north of like downtown Los Angeles. And I'll never forget, really exciting, it was this brother named Hank Gathers. I believe he was from Philadelphia, was playing basketball, All-American, was going to be like a lottery pick in the NBA. Him and his teammate, a brother named Bo Kimball. And I remember watching the game in real time. And it was early in the first quarter, first half, and he went up. It was March, so it's like, March Madness time. And he had just had this incredible dunk. Somebody was like an alley-oop. They tossed it up. He jumped out the gym, and he dunked the ball. And when he came down, you saw him. He was running down court, and by the time he got to midcourt, you just saw his body slump. And they never brought him back. He never recovered. He was only 23, I think, somewhere 22, 20, because he was a senior. Back in 1990, you had guys that would go to college for 4 years. If he was playing now, he might not have even went to college. He may have went straight to the NBA or the G League or some of these other leagues. But anyway, seeing that, and so when I heard about Bronny James, it triggered that memory. And there was a brother named Reggie Lewis, who was a superstar, gonna be a superstar with the Boston Celtics. Of course, they had this brother named Len Bias, who I still say would have been as good as Michael Jordan. And I know you all think I'm crazy. Just Google, YouTube, everybody on YouTube, just type in the search, little magnifying glass, Len Bias, Lenny Bias, B-I-A-S, Lenny Bias video, University of Maryland. He was unbelievable. What happened, unfortunately, he died from a drug overdose. But Reggie Lewis, a couple years later, I believe he was in practice in Boston playing for the Celtics. And he went into cardiac arrest, and apparently there was something wrong with it. It was like there was something about his heart in terms of like the structure and the way it was built. There was some type of defect, and it couldn't be detected with just like normal EKG. But anyway, unfortunately, he tragically died. He was very young. Reggie Lewis, I don't even think he might have been 25, if that old at all. So please, for those who believe in the power of prayer, send prayers up for the total and complete healing for Bronny James, and send prayers to LeBron and his wife, Bronny's mom, LeBron's wife, Bronny's mother, his mom, Savannah, Bronny's grandmother, Gloria, that's LeBron's mom, Gloria James, and just his brother Bryce, his sister. I forgot her, and I can't think of the little baby girl's name right now. But just the entire James family. Lift him up in prayer. And the University of Southern California. USC, thank God to the team doctors and the medical staff out there. You saved this kid's life. Thank God for that. All right. Hey, are you a Dave Chappelle fan? I like Dave Chappelle. Now, Dave is my dude. Now, listen, Dave's getting a little controversial. His last special, I know he kind of, for a minute I thought he was going MAGA. But anyway, Dave Chappelle is a rapper now? Dave Chappelle? MC Davey D or Davey C? MC Davey C, is that what happened? Cincinnati Music Festival happened last weekend in Cincinnati. They had, like some big names. Snoop was there. Babyface was performing, and he didn't have to worry about Anita Baker telling him that he couldn't perform. I ain't gonna let that go. So Dave Chappelle does this thing. I forgot he came on behind. No, he came on stage. I guess he was like the MC. So after Snoop performs, so Dave Chappelle comes on stage, and all of a sudden, Dave Chappelle, the comedian, turns into MC Davey C. Now, that's not what he calls himself. I'm giving him that nickname. The rapper. So, but anyway, Dave Chappelle, the comedian, is about to go on tour starting August 22nd, Madison Square Garden, 2 nights. Not one, 2 nights. And he's going to end up October 4th in Chicago, 1 night at the United Center. That's where the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago Blackhawks play their games. So that's going to be like 23,000 at least. So a shout out to Dave Chappelle. So like I said, get your tickets now because they're going to go fast. Come on, brothers and sisters, because you know them colonizers. Listen, when it comes to a concert, they don't mess around. They'll pull out that plastic. They'll be online. They'll tie. You'll be like, well, damn, tickets went on sale at 10 o'clock. I called it 10 o'clock. Couldn't get through because at 9:59, 9:55, them folks is on them, staying on their phones, waiting to order those tickets. So, Dave Chappelle, I did no date. Now, actually, Dave Chappelle, earlier this year, I believe, Dave Chappelle was here. I think, was it earlier this year? Or was it last year? But recently, he was here in Charleston. Sold out, of course. So, shout out to Dave. I got to see this video. Dave Chappelle, the rapper. Thank you. Or, you're welcome, Dave. You got a new name. You got your rapper's name. Because, you got to have a rapper's name if you're going to rap. Got to have a rapper's name. MC Davey C. There you go. You're welcome. I'll invoice you. Oh, I tell you what. I'm working on some new material. You want to go ahead and write a few jokes so I can add to my monologue? Holla at your man. There you go. That'll be your invoice. Your form of payment. Happy birthday today, Supermodel, one of the first black supermodels. She was global, and she's still global and still beautiful. At 68, Iman, she was once married to this NBA superstar way back in like the 70s, Spencer Haywood. And then she was married to David Bowie, the late David Bowie, for a while, right? I think so I think she had a child with Spencer Haywood. I think she may have had a child with David Bowie. Iman is 68 today. Verdine White of Earth, Wind, and Fire, the bass player, the brother of the founder and co-lead singer of Earth, Wind, and Fire, the late Maurice White, rest in peace, power in paradise, and also their other brother, Fred White, who recently, earlier this year, he passed. So rest in peace, power in paradise to Fred White. Verdine White, the baby brother, is 72 today. I got to see Earth, Wind, and Fire again. They put on still Verdine, Philip Bailey, and Philip Bailey is around 72 and still can hit those high notes. So shout out to Earth, Wind, and Fire, but a big birthday shout out to Verdine White. If you were a fan of the Steve Harvey TV show, when he was on doing It Was Said and all them. So remember the principal, Principal Regina, her nickname was Piggy. So Principal Greer, Regina Greer was the name of her character. And you've seen her in a whole lot of other movies. She is got a birthday today. Wendy Raquel Robinson is her real name. So I know some of y'all still call her Miss Greer, Regina, Piggy. Happy birthday, Wendy Raquel. I love it. She's funny and really a talented actress, so I'm a big fan. That's right, because she was on BET show The Game for a while. So shout out to Wendy Raquel Robinson, 56 today. If you are an old school fan, like they were out late 80s, early 90s, Diggable Planets. They really had this one big hit. Cool Like That, I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. It was called The Rebirth of Slick. Cool Like That. Ladybug was her name, is her name. Ladybug Mecca. She was the female rapper in the group Diggable Planets. Celebrate. She's the big nickel today. Happy 50th birthday, Ladybug. Also, happy heavenly birthday. So I got to make a correction from yesterday. But first, happy heavenly birthday to one of the greatest football players ever, Hall of Famer. At one time was considered arguably the greatest, still considered one of the greatest running backs of all time. And anybody in Chicago that's over 40, definitely anyone 50 and up, you love this guy. Rest in peace, power, and paradise. Happy heavenly birthday to Walter Payton. His nickname was Sweetness because he was sweet, but he would run your ass over, and he was a hell of a football player. He was born on this day back in 1954, so he would have been 69 today. Tragically died, had some rare liver disease, and then that developed into I believe like a rare form of liver cancer, and it was really tragic. You know, he held a press conference maybe less than a year before he passed away, and because there was a lot of speculation about his condition. You know, folks just, you know, we as humans in the public, especially with celebrities, a public figure, it's like, just because we are fans, we think that we own these people's personal lives and that they got a contractual and constitutional obligation to tell us everything about what's going on in their private life. Because you did that with my man who's from South Carolina, rest in peace, power, and paradise, Chadwick Boseman. The brother did like 5 movies. With stage 4 colon cancer, was dying. I think his last movie was or play Ma Rainey's Bottom or something, and he had lost a lot of weight, so you knew something was going on. He looked very thin and just almost not emaciated, but he had lost a lot of weight, and you could just see it in his face and his body, even his clothes didn't fit. But he was such a phenomenal. But people was just so damn nosy. It don't matter what they're dealing with. Just if you believe in prayer, pray for them and pray for their family and pray for their healing, and that God will have mercy and hopefully heal their body. And if it's their time, if he's ready to call them home, pray that God will have mercy and will not allow them to suffer. So anyway, happy heavenly birthday, Walter Payton. Like I said, he would have been 69 today. He died actually in 1999 is when he died, and it happened, I mean, like within the course of a year. I mean, he went from healthy to dead. So it was, I'll never forget that last press conference. I saw it on ESPN, and he was in tears, you know, and it's got you in tears, because I grew up watching Walter Payton. I mean, for a while in like the mid-late 70s, the only reason to watch the Chicago Bears on Sunday, that was before like the NFL Sunday Ticket and the Red Zone and DirecTV and all that was, and now YouTube has got the NFL Sunday Ticket. You had to watch it on your local CBS station because, you know, the NFC games were on CBS Channel 2. And the only reason to watch on a Sunday or a Monday night game if the Bears were playing was to watch Walter Payton, because you know he was going to do something like that had never been done before, something phenomenal, something exciting. So again, he had a son, Jared, that played at the University of Miami. His daughter, his wife, they carry on his foundation. So just prayers to the family. Happy heavenly birthday, Sweetness. Man, we love you. We miss you. Rest in peace up there in heaven. All right. And speaking of up in heaven, I got to correct something. Happy today, this person celebrating a happy heavenly birthday to Emmett Till. 1955, he was a 14-year-old kid that was murdered in Mississippi. Body dumped in a river. Tallahatchie, I believe, the river in Mississippi. Murdered by some savages that went to trial and were tried by an all-white racist jury in Mississippi, and they found all the murderers not guilty. Nobody went to jail. The woman, Catherine Dunham, who lied, said that this 14-year-old kid was whistling at her and tried to like hit on her. and the woman's husband and some of his other savages went and found this kid. Believe he was at a relative's, because he went to visit family and relatives in Mississippi. Emmett Till was from Chicago, from the south side of Chicago, from Woodlawn. The original house that Emmett Till grew up in is in Woodlawn, which is on the south side of Chicago. So, because southeast side is where Woodlawn is considered the south side. So let's put it that way. So happy heavenly birthday, Emmett Till, and shout out to your mom up in heaven, Mamie Till. Emmett Till would have been 82 today, not Sunday. So I got it wrong yesterday. I got to correct myself. Ain't too proud to beg. Ain't too proud to correct myself or acknowledge when I make a mistake. Acknowledge it, admit it, own it, and apologize. So happy heavenly birthday. July 25th, 1941. Emmett Till was born and was murdered 1955. So, and shout out to President Biden. I told you about this yesterday, that President Biden said that he was going to, he signed not an executive order. He announced that there's going to be 3 Emmett Till national monuments. 3. One in Chicago at the church that's in Bronzeville, which is a neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. Actually, my mother lives in Bronzeville. So the church where Emmett Till's funeral was held, when his mother, Mamie Till, said no, told the funeral director, Mr. Rayner, it's still a big funeral home in Chicago, A.A. Rayner and Sons. So Mr. Rayner, she said, look, I know you want to know if you want me to try to fix his face up a little bit. She said, no, don't touch nothing. I don't want you to try to dress him up. I don't want you to try to fix his face. I want the world to see what those murderers, what those demons, what those savages, what those racist subhumans did to my baby. For no reason. A child, a 14-year-old boy. So she allowed Jet magazine. Everybody that came to the funeral, they saw Emmett Till, and they saw how his face was mutilated. I believe they tied Emmett's body, I believe, to like a pickup truck or something, a vehicle, and they drug him, mutilated his face and body, and then they tied this giant fan, a cotton gin fan. It was like 75 pounds, this big, huge, heavy metal fan around his neck, and threw him in the river, the Tallahatchie River, I believe the name is Tallahatchie, with this giant 75-pound fan around his neck, which would make sure that his body sank to the bottom of the river and wouldn't come back up. But I guess authorities, they were able to retrieve his body and got it back to Chicago. And when his mom saw his body, she said, I want the world to see what I saw. So happy heavenly birthday. And so these 3 national monuments are going to be built. So the church where Emmett Till's funeral was held, and there's going to be 2 locations in Mississippi. The site where his body was dumped into that river, it's going to be another site of the Emmett and Mamie Till. So they're going to honor Emmett and his mom, because his mom was so courageous in the face of undescribable grief and pain and anger. I could only imagine. Oh, you really don't even want to know. I don't even want to talk about. Had I been in Mamie Till's position, I'm not even going to put that negative energy out there. It wouldn't have ended good for nobody. Trust me. It would not have ended good for nobody. But I digress. So the second national monument for Emmett Till, and meant to commemorate his life and the horrible tragedy and the strength of his mother, who fought for justice, tried to get justice for his son and never did, but was a huge civil rights activist and wanted to make sure that something like what happened to her son didn't happen to other people. Unfortunately, it did, but she did everything in her power till her last days, till she took her last breath, Miss Mamie Till fought for justice and for civil rights. So I have so much respect for her. So thank God. Thank you to President Biden for honoring Emmett Till and his mom. So the site where Emmett Till's body was dumped in Mississippi is going to be the second site of a monument and the third site of the national monument to honor Emmett Till and his mom, Mamie. It's going to be the courthouse, to where there was no justice in this courtroom. There was an injustice that was done to Emmett Till's memory, to his mom, Mamie, and to his family. And just an injustice to humanity, letting these three murderers. And then later on, they confessed and said they did it and bragged about it. And like laughed about it, like they got away with something. Well, explain that. Good luck trying to explain that when you're trying to get up in heaven. If there's a hell, I guarantee you, those three less than humans, those three murderers that killed that baby, God may forgive, but good luck with that one, partner. I digress. So just congratulations and thank you, President Biden, who, by the way, so today you had all these, I believe, like Wall Street experts that had to come clean and say, listen, we were wrong. We've been scaring people and telling people there's going to be a recession. Well, guess what? We looked at all the data, and it ain't going to be no recession. As a matter of fact, the economy is doing better than we dreamed of. We were all wrong. So shout out to President Biden. Y'all can keep hating on him and say he's too old, and yeah, that he, misspeaks and loses his place, and he might trip and fall or whatever, and his German Shepherd is biting Secret Service agents. But he's getting the job done, so you can talk your ass off, but the man is getting the job done. So what did he do? What has he done for black folks? Make sure that there was not a recession, because trust me, when and if there was a recession, the folks who would get hurt first and the worst would be black folks. Facts, not feelings. A fact. So shout out to President Biden. Having a good day. As Ice Cube said, today was a good day for you, President Biden, for doing the right thing by the memory of Emmett Till and Mamie Till, announcing that there are going to be these three national monuments to honor his memory, his life, and his mom's, her work and her legacy. And it took a lot to get these Wall Street and all these economists to come clean and be like, we was wrong, y'all. They probably knew it wasn't going to be no damn recession, but that's a whole different conversation. But shout out to President Biden. And shout out to, the UPS workers, full disclosure, one of my family members, who we went to high school together, he retired from UPS probably 6-7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. But he was there for like 30 years. He retired. He was smart, saved his money, and I think he put in 30 years, something like that. Anyway, maybe 5 years ago. But anyway, he's out of there and doing great. But there was a threat that the UPS workers that are members of the Teamsters Union. So they're like 330,000 UPS employees. And basically all the UPS offices and distribution centers are in North America. Over 330,000 people working for UPS. I believe they had about that same number that's in the union. So anyway, the owners of UPS didn't want to pay part-time workers, what they wanted. So the union fought. And so they didn't go on strike. So the full-time workers, I think within the next, because it's a 5-year contract, so within the next 5 years, they will get a $7 raise between now and 5 years from now. So I think immediately full-time workers are going to get like over $2 an hour, and then within 5 years, they'll get a $7 an hour raise. And part-time workers that they were paying like $16 or $16.40 are now going to get like $21 an hour, or I think close to $22 an hour. That's huge. That is huge. And they got some, the workers got some other concessions because, you think about now. Because, we've all seen the UPS drivers. Like I said, my cousin Greg is driving, and they got these big, hot-ass metal trucks. Now, the doors are open, so you see me, if the UPS driver comes to your house, in the summertime, they got the doors open because they don't have any air conditioning. So can you imagine? Oh, my God, think about UPS workers in Phoenix or somewhere around Death Valley, California. Temperature was like in Death Valley, like a week or two ago, it was 133 degrees. Like, what the hell? Phoenix, like 116, 118, something crazy like that. So can you imagine what it's like? 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, you riding around in this truck with no air? Yeah, you may have the shorts on, but you got them hot-ass boots on and no AC? So just congratulations. I think all the new trucks are going to have air conditioning, and they got some other concessions. So just shout out to the UPS workers. There's strength in numbers. See, when we stick together, there's strength in unity. Like I said, if I take a finger, or if I take my hand and it's open and I poke somebody, I can break a finger. But when I put those fingers together and form a fist, it's got power behind it. And we as humans are like that. When we come together, there's power in our strength and unity. Get the job done. Shout out to unions, okay? Because that's why a lot of these, like in South Carolina, what they call them right to work, that means you have a right to work for free. They don't want unions because they don't want the workers to get paid what they should get paid. They want to pay you little or nothing and not give you any benefits or barely give you any benefits. And if they decide they want to fire you, they'll just fire you for no reason and you won't have any recourse. You won't have any way to try to either get your job back or get paid, compensated fairly. But shout out to that Teamsters union and shout out to the UPS workers. They was like, okay, UPS owners, you can F around and find out if you want to, because when people when they start not getting their packages or stop getting their packages, because folks want their packages because they on Amazon like crazy, that's a whole nother conversation, or wherever, they want them UPS packages, and Amazon and FedEx can't feel that. UPS is the truth, okay? Because if that UPS strike would have jumped off, it was going to be a problem for really everybody. Because UPS, they deliver medicine, anything that can be delivered by truck or plane, UPS, they deliver it. So they said, okay, UPS bosses, y'all can F around and find out if you want to. And I guess the UPS owners were like, all right, y'all got it. Go ahead, damn it. For 5 years. So, congratulations to them. All right, let me get out of here. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you and you and you and you, and especially you. And God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Let me give you an update. I am less than 70 new subscribers from being a YouTube partner. What does that mean? A YouTube partner gets paid from YouTube. You're a partner, they run ads, and in the meantime, because you got a very popular channel or show like mine, you get compensated because you're bringing eyeballs and viewers. So thanks for helping me out, making it happen. I'm right around 70, maybe a little less than 70 new subscribers, but let's keep going. I want to get 700,000, 7 million new subscribers. So tell everybody to subscribe, share, screen grab this or any episode. Last night's episode was fire also. Subscribe, share, screen grab, copy and paste the link, and binge watch all my back episodes. Allie Jones, she is the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. I call her the drip director. So you can check her out on Instagram. Actually, she is a designer, lx.ncl_. She's got an incredible line. This summer she's released this crochet line. She's got crochet handbags, ladies. She's got crochet swimsuits, crochet tops, crochet leggings, and some really, really nice crocheted caps or beanies. I want to say hats. They're not hats. They're like beanies or caps, and they're crocheted for men and women. So you can check her out. lx.ncl_ is that little dash below. lx.ncl_. Bruce Gage, also the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. The Mario Uomo collection of suits, blazers, and just some of the most spectacular drip, fly gear, fashion, the stylish fashions that you will see on the planet. Also, Flyball, the collection, officially licensed Negro Baseball League gear. It's incredible. Check it out. So, Miglio di Mario Uomo. Mario Uomo collection is on Instagram. Miglio di Mario Uomo. It's an Italian name. So, it's Migliodi. Mario Uomo. Migliodiuomo. And Flyball. So it's flyballthestore.com. All one word. Flyballthestore.com. Have a great afternoon, evening, morning, whenever you're watching me. If you're not watching me live, and the next live episode is going to be on Wednesday. Programming note, we're still waiting for confirmation. Tamika Scott from Escape. It's got some brand new music. She is, let's put it this way. We are requesting her presence. I'm waiting to get the confirmation email, but we have scheduled her. We have left that date open for her to be my guest on, have a great conversation on Thursday. I'll keep you up. I'll give you an update tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, be blessed. Pray for peace. Holla! Thanks for watching again.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.